Welcome to the Rulebook. I'm your host, Alex Palmer, and I'm the queen of learning things the hard way so you don't have to. On this podcast, we're going to be talking about the mistakes I made and the lessons I learned along the way to create the rules I now live by. On each episode, we're discussing a new rule, why I created it, how it came about, and how you can apply it in your own life. So let's get into it. Welcome to episode number 6. I should be further along than this. Welcome to the Rulebook. Merry Christmas if you celebrate. I hope that everyone had a wonderful holiday weekend. And I wanted to do an episode about setting goals since a new year is coming our way really quickly. And I was thinking, okay, how am I going to do this? Obviously it's not going to be about fucking vision boarding because that's not my jam. But if that's your jam, you vision boarded up, my friends. But I was listening to the Nicki Minaj song, Moment for Life. And there's a part where Drake says, well, everybody dies, but not everybody lives. And I really wanted to sort of bring that into today's episode because I feel like that's obviously very true. And I've struggled with this personally. I have stopped myself from living each day to the fullest because I was very preoccupied with other things that were constantly needing my attention. So I wasn't really able to live each day and do something for me. This week I was scrolling through some of the people I know casually on Instagram, people who I haven't seen in years, but who started where I started. And I was realizing, holy crap, I know a lot of people with over 1 million followers, or I know a lot of people who've been on TV. I know a lot of people who made their fucking dreams a reality. And I started with them. Like I started in a similar spot with them years ago. And if I compare myself to them, I'm going to feel like trash. And I did because obviously I'm trying to grow my socials and I'm trying to, create something of meaning for myself for the first time in a long time. And when I was looking at some of the people I came up with, I'd be lying if I didn't say, well, where the hell are my rewards? Where are my followers? What's the deal? And it just leads you into a spiral of comparison, which we all know is not the answer. Violence is not the answer. Okay. Comparison is not the answer either. So I went back and forth with what the rule would be for this week. At first I was like, oh, the rule is going to be comparing yourself to others doesn't get you closer to where you're going, which is like very cliche and duh, we know that. And it's giving very much Katie Heron from Mean Girls when she's like, oh, she has that realization and she's like, oh, actually calling someone fat doesn't make you skinnier. Okay, facts on facts. Tina Fey wrote it, so it's gold. But I didn't think that was clever enough to be the rule of this episode, although maybe it is. Maybe that's the rule this week. Don't compare yourself to others because ultimately that doesn't get you to where you're going anyway. It just makes you feel bad. And who needs help feeling bad? Not me. Not you probably either, because the world will do that for you. So there's simply no reason to hate on other people. There's also that like trending sound on TikTok. Hating bitches ain't happy and happy bitches ain't hating. So maybe that's rule number 6. I would be lying if I said I didn't feel that way when I scroll through my Instagram and I see some of the girls I came up with, even the girls I did pageants with. I see how good they're doing and God bless. God bless. Obviously, though, I don't know what went on behind the scenes for them, as they don't know what the hell went on the scenes for me. And when I stopped to think about, well, what is my excuse for not being further along in my journey like the rest of the girls I used to know? And the truth is, I know that I was fighting other battles at that time. So for some of us, we can't focus on succeeding because we're so busy surviving. I've had a lot of different things pop up here and there that have totally taken me off course. And I had to do a lot of inner work in order to be on a level playing field with half these people I'm talking about. And obviously it's a privilege to be able to chase your dreams. So don't feel bad if you aren't in that spot right now. But let's not ignore the elephant in the room, okay? Because there's this meme that I saw, and I'm sure you've all seen. It's like this kid climbing up these stairs. and it's two kids climbing up these set of stairs that are pretty fucking steep. And one kid is like making it easily up the stairs, and he's leaving his peer in the dust. That's because he's getting up these really tall stairs because he has these little stacks of money underneath him that whoever put there, right? Society, his mom, his dad, whatever. He has these little boosters that are getting him up the stairs quicker than his counterpart. And yeah, I think that the stacks of money, it doesn't always have to be money. It could be support, family support. It could be confidence. It could be self-esteem. It could be nurturing. It could be any of those things that are giving that other kid that boost that he needs in order to get to the top while the other kid is left in the dust. And that kid also, he could have a fucking backpack of rocks, which are like the self-doubt, the poor self-esteem. Like, it doesn't even have to be this person lacks this or this person has this. I do just think everyone's journey to the top looks different. So this reminds me of a story from last year. I was just starting my social media assistant job for this really big influencer. I think it was like day 3 or something. And we had this event to go to at Sephora. And I'm there standing with my boss, her photographer, me. And this woman walks over this YouTuber who I used to know because she competed in the Miss New York USA pageant with me in 2013. And I'm like, oh, should I say like, hey, what's up? You know, remember me? How you doing? Oh my God. And I debated in my head for a little bit, and I was like, hey girl, how are you? And she just looked at me like, hey, what's up? Like, confused in front of my boss, in front of everybody. And I was like, it's me, Alex, from the Miss New York pageant. And she goes, oh, hey, what's up? And I felt like, okay, she's giving me the fucking brush off in front of like my boss right now, my brand new boss, and like these 2 other women. So I was like, yeah. You don't remember me? I was like, I was the first runner up that year. And I was. And my boss was like, oh, because first of all, I don't know. I just felt some type of way when she like did not know or pretended not to know who I was. Albeit I did look like trash because it was like 8 p.m. on a random Thursday. And I had been working since like 10 a.m. that day for this influencer. And it was a tough job. It was a lot of running around, a lot of like physical stuff too when I was doing it. So I know I looked like trash. So I wasn't surprised. Maybe she didn't recognize me for that reason. But I also and I know that this person is a little bit shy. So I'm not even like knocking her or whatever the reason is that she didn't recognize me. But I was like, I was the first runner up. Please don't act like you don't know who the hell I am. And she's super successful. And she was like, what are you doing now in front of everybody? I was like, I'm her assistant. I don't even think I said that. I was like, oh, you know, social media, like stuff like that. I don't even know what the hell I said, but it was awkward. It was so effing awkward because, okay, she's here with her million YouTube followers and being introduced to my boss. And I know this chick from the pageant. I mean, I was the first runner up back then. And now I'm just the assistant. Like, you know, you feel some type of way. And I remember like reaching out to one of my pageant girlies about it and being like, you know who I ran into? And she pretended not to recognize me. Stories like that are the things I'm talking about. Like, good for her. Like, she had a very different life path than me. I can't compare myself to her. You know, God bless her. She's like one of those beauty people. I'm happy for her. If I run into her again, will I bring up that I was first runner up again? No. No, that was fucking humiliating. And that's okay. Because happy bitches ain't hating and hating bitches ain't happy. And I never said we were happy, but I'm not no hate to her. I think that was fucking hilarious that happened. It took me a minute not to be tight. I was a little tight when she was like, who are you? But it's all good. And I don't work for that influencer anymore either. And I'm much prouder to be going on this journey on my own. And all those little things help. Not saying it helped. That moment didn't help. Didn't help. But it's a learning experience. Every fucking learning experience counts. So there you go. That's my embarrassing story of comparing yourself to the people you came up with and then being brutally humbled. But, you know, everything's temporary. What comes up must come down. So just have to have hope. You just have to keep doing you. Focus on yourself. Focus on your own pursuits as much as you can. And you can be proud of yourself. It doesn't matter. Just because she has 1 million followers doesn't mean I'll never get 1 million followers. But, you know, it's okay. It's okay to be at different places than people you used to know. When I know someone who's achieved a certain level of success, in the back of my mind, I'm always like, if she can do it, I can do it. So I'm thankful for her. I'm thankful for her success. I'm thankful that I saw this, and I'm thankful that she was bold enough to go and do it, because if she can do it, I can do it. And it really truly does reaffirm that to me. Yeah, I went way the fuck off script for this episode. I want to be more unfiltered with you guys, because that's how I am on TikTok. That's how I am on Instagram. And that's how I want this podcast to be. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed rule number 6, which is like a combination of a bunch of things. But ultimately, it's do not compare yourself to others, because happy bitches ain't hating and hating bitches ain't happy. All right, guys. New episodes drop every Monday on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts is where you will hear my voice or see my little face. So I hope that you will subscribe to this podcast. I hope that you will comment, like it, tell a friend to check out the RuleBook. New episodes every Monday. All right. See you next week, guys. Bye.